Hello, welcome back to another video of Haytopia. Today, I have some sad news. I realized that in the beginning of the game, I made some critical mistakes. This right here, all these farms with this weird road going around it, doesn't work great. Having one entrance for all my industrial traffic, it also doesn't work great. I also didn't realize how truly big this map was. It's taken me 20 episodes, not even 20 episodes, and I've barely filled it up at all. I just made too many mistakes early on. But the good thing about this game is all I have to do is click New Game, and boosh, I can make an entire new world. So, which world should we choose? I think this world could look good. How much land does it have to fill up? Buildable area, 21%. So, where I currently am is I'm in the Waterway Pass, which is 53% map. The lowest map, and this, I have a world that just I play. I don't stream or record. And it only has 16%, and it is way more fun. There's no challenge. It's because traffic is only contained to like the single island that it's on. And it's much more fun. So I think I want something greater than 16, so I can still get good content, but less than 53%. So I think this Windy Floyd's could look good. River Delta. This could be a little more complicated. Sunny Peninsula also looks complicated. Lakeland. Still pretty big. Barrier Island's big. And then Coral Ridges is also a very large map. So, with all that, I'm going to choose this map. 21%. It's got all the outside connections you could need. Looks great. Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna do right side of traffic, natural disasters, unlock all. This is pretty much what I always do. So I'll still have the older Haytopia maps, but today I'm gonna start Haytopia version 2, episode 1. So let's look at this beautiful map. Look how great it is. I can even turn up my settings. I actually, unfortunately, had to lower it down to 1080p just because it was so hard for my graphics card to run all the people going and everything. So, this one is much better. Alright. So let's start off with how we started off old Haytopia. Looking at the farming space. So I'm probably going to build up here, but let's check. I guess industrial stuff will go over here to where the wind blows. Yeah, over here looks like a great place for a bunch of industrial. So I'll probably have the main city over this way. Probably up until like about there. Excuse me. And then I'll have medium density up this way in this valley area. And then low density along the mountains and over here. So first I'm going to start off with farming on one side of the river. And then all the people will live in low density houses along here. So I'm going to develop this over the next few episodes. So let's start off with, this is a railroad, correct? Yes. Okay, good. I think that should be my first entry point. So I'll grab just a small train station to start off with. I don't need anything too big. We'll put this on this side. We'll then have a one-way road, go like this. And then to the side of that, we can start off with just a normal 4-lane road. Which will then go into a nice, well-supported bridge. And back onto this road. So that's how we get to that side. I'm going to keep this road along some train line. Let's see. I think it would be good if we kept it right below this main one right there, and above that one. That was my brother, if you could hear him. He's very mad with my dog right now. She's very barky sometimes. Turning on train lines again, I'm just going to check. And then, there we go. And then I'll put that to there. Okay, that's good so far. Now, I'm going to emplace just a quick little grain farm right here. It's not important if I do that right now. I just need to check. Where is that line? Okay. It's not really a clear border, so I'll just have a riverside road. Very good. So now I can trail a farming-sized... No, I meant to have that at a 90-degree angle. I can have a farming-sized dirt road. Take a nice little journey down to here. Which will actually turn into an alley right before, because here's the thing. Gravel, when it gets onto the road, tears it up a little bit more than just like normal dirt. So the point is, the gravel from here will only tear up this part of the road, so by the time it gets onto this main road, it won't do anything. I'm actually going to have, this is more of a local highway. Unless of like a lake, or a lake side thing. So I'll just zone this to be maximum sized. Keeping it... I don't want to have too many points, because the more points I have on here, the harder it is to get things to fit next to it. Which is why I usually don't do curved roads around the farming areas. It's harder to do this type of zoning with. And then also something that I learned from playing with larger city skylines games is zoning is important. I learned about like how like services can be told to go to certain regions. I learned all the important things about like how to keep industries happy. Very, very important things. And it would have taken a long time to fix on my other, on Haytopia OG. So I'm just going to kind of reset. So now I know exactly how far the farms are going to come out. I'm going to remove that. And then retrace it, but a little closer. That way maybe I can have some, like, waterfront stores. There we go. I have the game paused right now. Just so I can do this first. There we go. Let's just use all the land we can get. And then the other game that I don't think I did is I didn't put any livestock in. We were importing a lot of livestock products. But on this world, I'm going to do a lot more pre-planning before I just go straight into the episode and I'm not going to like figure things out while I'm going. I'm going to have more of an idea. That's what I'm trying to do here, like leave space for future development. And I've got to get this to snake all the way around over to here. Let's see. I'll be able to put a textile farm right there. So let's use all the remaining space. Oh, gotta flip this around. Is there a way to flip that around? Just trying to fill up every little corner. Make sure there's no space in between the farms. That looks good. I'm gonna get just a few people living over here so I can unpause the game. Ooh. I would prefer if this didn't go too much under the water. That looks good. So I guess this line here will be for... So the industrial area is over here. We'll have no trouble making custom industrial lines. So I think this line here can be for residential, and we can also have a cutoff that goes down to the main city. Yeah, that sounds good. Create route, so it'll come up, down to there, and then it'll come back down to there. Okay, and then this piece will go to there. And finish there. So initially, this is going to be the red part of town. It'll be free, and it'll just have very few amount of trains. Because most likely nobody's going to really be coming on these routes. Just people that are trying to move in here. Now, I need to think about how I'm going to put people in up here. So I think the best way to do that, I got to think about how I'm going to put highways through here too. I think because it was main interstate, and there's an interstate loop that goes down to into the city itself. So we'll probably make a loop road or a ring road that goes around, and then we'll have this three-way intersection connect to that. We'll also probably have a highway. We'll probably turn this into a 4-lane, so we can have a highway that goes through the medium in this valley part, and then like circles back around. So it'll come like kind of like this. So I'll turn this into a 4-way intersection where it'll go like up here, turn this way, then go this way, then turn this way, then come back down to here. Like that. And then we'll have another ring road that goes like that, kind of, all the way around. So I think we're good to have a local highway. Plus, like, cities, they change things over time. It'll be kind of the progression of Haytopia. So this road is going to go up that way. So I think if I just put in just like a kind of, maybe like a, for a low-density area, it's not going to have too much traffic, so I'll probably put like a 4-lane road in right here. Which will then turn around that hill. Let's look. How steep is this? Alright. So now we're kind of already on top of this ridge line. Let's just keep following it. So we can either have it go up that way or up that way. But I think it would make more sense to go that way. Alright, and then just try to get it out of the city, please. We want it to be on a negative slope. Although it does exceed city limits. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now I'm just going to polish up that little intersection there. Oh, that doesn't look great. It's fine. So let's start to just get a few houses off of this main road. I don't think this main road needs to be a highway necessarily. But I think, at least for now, this could be. And I can't really, there's not really a good 4-lane highway bridge. There is this, but that has like a railway underneath. And since it's already a bridge over there, we don't really need that. I can do, though. I want to see, could I, by chance, take this bridge? Ooh, distance too short. Okay. Cool. So let's just start off. We'll have a road that starts like this and then goes to there. Alright, and then this will be our waterside road. So this will have all the, like, the nice riverfront houses. But before I go too far up, how are we going to get power to here? Well, this is at the start of a river. And I assume this river is flowing somewhat fast, right? I think you can see what I'm going for. I'll start a dam here. And just try to see if I can get it to work over that way. So let's get it from one shoreline. Remove that real quick. Okay. How much lower is that? Okay, that's significantly lower. So let's grab like a train line like that more of. And I can just make a nice like dirt level thing to about that hill. Level it out a little. Perfect. Okay, now we'll move that a little bit more to about there. And then I can slope the dirt up. This might be a little unusual, but we'll try and see how we'll try it out and see how it works. Does that completely remove the necessity of this bridge? Not really, because this is faster. So then, I can just place in like a cable here that just runs to that, and that. And then we can put in a water intake thing. Because I'll have all the water intake. I'll prefer it if it comes from, like, the Hayden lands itself. So this will be a temporary solution. So we'll have it import and export water there. And then we'll fix that later. So I guess next episode we will go over to here and build a small area for water intake. Until then, let's extend the highway. So now it's no longer going to hug that. It's going to kind of just go freely through this more open land. We want this to go straight and very fast. To about there. We'll make an intersection with that highway. And then here we'll put a transformer station. And it connects to that like that. And then these big power lines I'm going to have go deep down. That way they don't interfere with, like, subways or anything. It's probably unrealistic to run a subway all the way out here, but you never know. I can really do anything in this game. So let's just then zone just a few houses. The dam doesn't make too much noise. And then next to the train station is where we'll have our few shops. Really goes up quite a ways. So this road's just going to run all the way up here. And then it's going to stop right there. Because I don't want it to go to another city. And then have, like, intercity traffic running through people's pretty much front and backyard. Make this an alleyway to a cul-de-sac. And then I'll try that. Yes. Alright, now we're just going to fill in, like, fish bones, like, all this area. Because it's all going downhill, so. Oh yeah, we can just export any excess power. Oh, that's not how you do that. I have to take it off of here. And let's just have it go straight on. Oop. There we go. That should maybe fix our import. Now, I do need to lower taxes because I'm not doing that. I said we're not doing that. So, if I want, I will do a series later on where I make a profitable city, but I haven't done that yet. Like off camera, so there's no way I'm gonna be able to figure it out off camera. Or there's no way, I haven't done it off camera yet, so I can't figure it out on camera. That would be bad. Let's put a post office in on this side. I'm sure I can fit one. And maybe I can hide it here. Yeah, that looks... We can just have an alleyway that goes like that. And then... put it right there. That looks good. I probably don't need a traffic light. It's not going to be a busy way. What about over here? Oh, wait, what? I thought that was okay. I thought this was 4 lane. Apparently, I messed up a little bit. Just a tiny bit. I'll put in a tiny medical clinic. Let's see. See, can I fit it on this side too? There we go. No one's done. Why are people moving in dead? This game. We can put in a, unlike old Utopia, I do want to do a few cemeteries here. Because they produce, like, things that are nice for my city. Like, well-being, I think it was. I am far above sea level here. I'm going to level out this bank. And then smoothen out the side of it. So I'll put the cemetery. I'll just put a big one in so I don't have to worry about this for a while. And I'll get mausoleum. Replacing Torrens, temporary attractiveness 20%. Okay, I guess I can do that. Columbarium. Ooh, more storage. That's exactly. Do they have to call it storage? Sounds terrible. Hey, increase well-being. But my gosh, why do they call it storage? I mean, I guess that's what it is, but it just doesn't sound right. I don't think of, like, humans as a device you can, or as a object you can quote store. Oh my gosh, landfills. Probably just make a landfill far over here. So let's extend out the highway to over these mountains. Wait, why don't I just have this genius idea? I'll have this mirror right to the side of the train tracks, so that all the noisy components are right next to each other. And the train tracks were already pre-engineered by the game to like follow the path of least resistance. Alright, and then I can just make it come out onto this side. A little worse than I wanted it. Let's fix that real quick. Why is it not connecting? Oh, phooey. How do I reach that? Do I have to redo the tunnel? Nah. Sometimes I like this game. Sometimes I find it way too annoying. Overly a pain. There we go. I'm happy with that. So now we'll just make this an outside connection to some dirt. And then I'll put in the landfill over there. I will set up incinerators later, but that's a little advanced for 74 people. Trust me, a landfill. Well, I mean, actually, landfills are quite advanced. I did a study on those. They have like ways that they have to like. I mean, at least American ones. I don't know about like European rules and stuff. I'm sure they have. They're somewhat similar, but not completely similar. But like American ones, they have to have systems. Like they have to bury over all the trash, so they use a lot of dirt. Which is a problem, but it keeps from like trash blowing everywhere, or it's supposed to keep trash from blowing everywhere. I can't speak to how well that works. I'm not really a. Oh, I forgot. There's actually like a whole profession on like trash and waste management. But like after a landfill is filled up all the way, they can be really profitable because you can pretty much like the gases that come off from decomposing trash, you can have like a cover over top of it, and then you can collect that gas and like burn it and turn it into power. So City Skylines 2 developers, if you guys are watching this, can you add that as a feature? Be cool. But this is only going to be a temporary landfill. After a few episodes, I will just put in an incinerator and then have all this trash incinerated and then remove the landfill. But until then, this is my way of getting it to work. I'm going to run the electrical line right underneath the train tracks. Because if I ran water under the road, I'll run electricity under the train tracks. That makes sense. Oh, it's not letting any water through. That's not good. It should eventually. Come on, let the water through. Alright, schools. Let's place the schools right off this. Let's put in some bigger schools. Some large, big boys. Okay, that sounds a little sus. Wait. Some large schools. Very good capacity. I don't think that sounds sus. I'm not certain of it. So I guess the district will probably end here-ish. I do need to set up telecom services, also known as your phone. But I'll do that later. Put that to there, and that like that. So that goes there. That's also zoned to that. The elementary school will be zoned to this district, and then the high school will be zoned to here. Phooey. We're flooding the granny. Alright, I'll just make a better wall there. Great apologies to the people who had their people there. Is the graveyard completely flat? There's like no hill whatsoever. It's just like completely flat. Well, I guess that will allow for decent draining. People are leaving after that. Well, phooey. Let's zone in a bunch more houses. Well, not waterfront houses on the back of a waterfront space. I will put in a fire station and police officer space very soon. Let me just zone some more houses. Because why would I put in a firehouse if there's nothing that could catch on fire? So now that I have possible fire hazards, I will locate that there. Put in a storm protection because I don't trust what people do. And then a small police station on the other side of the elementary school. Gotta protect them students. So now I'll just try to have this relatively straight into each one of there. And then after I finish this district up, you know, I could just like let's see. Now, 12 is the maximum size, so I assume that's the maximum, like, amount of squares. So let's see. On each one of these has 6 squares. And here there is, okay, that's 6 highlighted squares there. And 6 online. Okay, so that's maximum size. Good. So I'll just do this, and then I will restart the episode then. Okay, I zoned all this. And now I'm going to put telecoms in. So that people can talk on their phone. There you go. And that's the episode. This is going to be zoned. It's just taking a minute for it to load. It's making no power. Wait, oh no, it's making power. It's not letting anything through. But that's gonna wrap up the episode. I'll finish the second part of Springcrest tomorrow, or in the next episode. And this is Hayville, episode 1. I am Hayden, and signing off.